Hey everyone, Jeff Huffman here from the UF Weather Center and the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network Storm Center. We're going to give you a quick update on this major storm developing in the southeast. First, I'm going to walk you through what is a severe or tornado risk here in the state of Florida late tonight, early Friday. UF forecaster Brittany Van Voorhees has been helping me today. Wave to the camera, Brittany. She has been helping on the local impacts here in North Florida from the cold and the wind that you'll be experiencing over the weekend. So stay tuned for a quick update on that. A couple things to remember here. I know it's been a pretty active couple of weeks here in the state of Florida. Some residents cleaning up from, unfortunately, some very strong tornadoes. We even had some fatalities. I did some research just to basically support this idea that we've been talking about for several weeks and months, that we get more tornadoes during an El Nino winter here in Florida. We've had 3 F2s in a span of 8 days in the state. Prior to that, it took 7 years to get 3 F2s or stronger here in the state. We've only had 3 prior to this month since 2008. And by the way, that was an El Nino year. So it's no joke. This is anytime a storm system comes in with even just the lowest risk of an isolated tornado, we got to take it seriously here in the winter months during an El Nino. I posted this map for those who may be traveling to the north. This is what is going to happen in the next 48 hours. A memorable to historic storm for much of the Tennessee and Ohio Valley, the mid-Atlantic states, and parts of the Northeast. We're talking 1 to 2 feet of snow. The heaviest snow will be inland, but along the coast, 40 to 60 mile an hour sustained winds, near hurricane force winds expected there once again in New England. Now let me break down what's happening with the storm. I'm going to first show you the water vapor loop, and it doesn't look that impressive yet, but there are the ingredients coming together for a major storm. We have the polar jet stream starting to dive down. That's the wrong color, excuse me. Let me show you the blue here. The polar jet stream is diving down into the south central U.S. There's the subtropical jet, the green line here, and basically that's where the moisture is sitting to the south and east. And this area of low pressure is developing here just north of Dallas, and it's going to tap into this moisture and warm air. It's going to yank down all the cold air. It's been brutally cold across the upper Midwest, and we've got a big storm developing. This storm is going to take a track through the Mid-South. Now, what makes this complicated is it's going to really intensify right here, near and just north of Atlanta. But there's going to be a handoff to some new energy that develops over the warm waters of the Gulf Stream in the Atlantic. So a new coastal storm will develop and move up the eastern seaboard. During this transition from one strong storm near Atlanta to a developing storm just offshore, it may be somewhat of a saving grace for much of the peninsula here because the instability will be diminishing. The pull of that warm, juicy air to the north won't be as strong over the state of Florida as it is maybe, say, over the Panhandle and parts of Alabama and Mississippi. So I'm not going to say we're in the clear by any stretch of the imagination, but I think the risk for severe weather is greater near where the storm is strengthening over land and a little less over the peninsula. So I want to go to a different source and show you what's happening right now at the time of this taping here midday on Thursday. This is the radar loop, and as you can see, not a lot going on just yet. I want to show you the satellite. You can see kind of the comet shape to the storm, but I want to zoom in now and show you the dew points. And basically, this is the measure of the moisture in the air, and we've got some juicy air sitting off the Gulf of Mexico, dew points in the 60s and 70s, and a lot of this will be transported northward into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama here over the next few hours. Now, I'm going to pause right now just to remind you of our mobile app, Florida Storms, and our Facebook and Twitter accounts. For the entire state, look for Florida Storms. For North Florida, look for UF Weather. It's important to make sure you have a way to be notified. Now, if the tornado comes in late at night and overnight, that risk is even greater to you and your family in terms of safety because you'll be sleeping and you may not be aware of it. Thankfully, at least in North Florida and Central Florida, I think the risk is greatest during the daylight hours on your Friday. But I do have some concern for areas up in the Panhandle. Here's the timing of it. Notice the thunderstorms rolling through the Panhandle overnight. This is noon tomorrow. Right across North Florida, Central Florida, and then it sweeps off the peninsula by Friday evening. Very similar to last Friday in terms of its timing. The severe risk is greatest in the orange shaded region across portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama today, a risk of tornadoes. I'm really concerned about this risk from Pensacola to Tallahassee. Can't emphasize enough. Let me show you this again, that as we move from overnight into Friday morning, there's still a significant chance of an isolated tornado from Pensacola to Tallahassee between midnight and 6 a.m. There's also an increased risk by the mid to late afternoon hours across central Florida. And let me show you why. It's because of the instability factor. There's a lot of dynamics with this system, a lot of spin, a lot of upper level energy, but the big question mark is, will the lowest levels of the atmosphere be unstable? And certainly so across parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and I still think there's a good risk. This is 8 a.m. on Friday morning near Tallahassee. Notice near Tampa and Orlando, we start to see the yellows and oranges show up again around lunchtime Friday. That's because the atmosphere will have had a chance to heat up a little bit during the day. So even though the dynamics may not be as strong in central and south Florida with this front, there is an increased risk of some severe weather there between noon and 3 p.m. Unfortunately, for some of the same areas that got hit last weekend. All right, enough about the severe weather. Some of you, all you care about is how cold it's going to be over the weekend. You may have some outdoor plans. Brittany, I know you've been tracking that. Tell us a little bit about what goes into computing these wind chill numbers. We're not so used to wind chills here in Florida.
Well, we only need about a 5-mile-per-hour wind to calculate a wind chill, and our winds on Saturday will be sustained at 15 miles per hour and gusting to 30 miles per hour. So pretty significant, and I've been looking at the guidance numbers, everything. I'm really worried about Saturday. They're showing the same number for 7 a.m. as 7 p.m. in the mid-40s, and it's going to be feeling even colder than that due to the wind speed. So check it out. Friday at 6 in the afternoon, 67 in Lake City, 69 in Gainesville. But watch how this number drops with only 6 hours, 22 degrees. And then if you're going out, it's going to be feeling like 43.
Wait, so you're saying like if I happen to be leaving the bar at 2 a.m.?
Yes. If you're going out and about in Midtown at 2 a.m., it's going to be feeling like the mid-40s.
What if I want to sleep in on Saturday?
Not looking at much better, because instead of normal where we warm up during the day, we're going to cool off throughout the day, feeling like 30 at 9 a.m. for your Saturday morning. And around the rest of the state, it is going to be cold as well. Check it out. For a high temperature, 68 down in Miami. For us here in Gainesville, a little bit colder, 47.
Oh, these are highs.
I
need to remind us.
These are highs.
These are not your nighttime temperatures, which is normal for this time of year.
These are the high temperatures.
Yeah, and that's nasty for Tampa and Orlando. Thank you so much, Brittany. Brittany will continue to keep you updated. She had the morning duties this morning on WRUF TV. We've got UF forecaster Amanda Holly coming in this afternoon. I'll be in, of course, as well through the overnight hours, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, keeping you updated until this front clears North Florida. Once again, this is how to keep in touch with us over the next 24 to 36 hours. This mobile app, by the way, will alert you even ahead of maybe a National Weather Service warning if a dangerous storm is approaching. It gives you advance notice, and it shows you 36 hours of future radar, so you can time those thunderstorms and basically know when they're going to be moving in to your backyard. That's called Florida Storms. It's available on the App Store today. It's a free service of the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network. Thanks for joining us. We'll keep you updated on our social media accounts and via TV and radio. And of course, stay tuned, stay aware. If you're outside of North Florida, make sure you stay tuned to your local media there as well when the severe weather breaks out later tonight and tomorrow morning in the Panhandle. Thanks for watching.